Be me. 26-year-old feminist just went through breakup with boyfriend of 2 years. Relationship ended month ago when he said he couldn't do it anymore. Done. Told me he felt exhausted and underappreciated, constantly criticized by me, always. I thought he was being dramatic and that he'd come back eventually return. Been staying with my parents for a few weeks while looking for new apartment. My mom really liked my ex-boyfriend Jason, always asked about him fondly. Expected her to comfort me and take my side after breakup support me. Instead, she's been quiet and asking questions about why we broke up exactly. Finally sit down with her to talk about the breakup needs support from mom. Tell her that Jason couldn't handle strong, independent woman like me too much. Say that he wanted someone who would just agree with everything he said. Explain that I challenged him to be a better person and he couldn't handle it. Mention that he was too sensitive and took everything personally, overreacted always. Tell her that I'm better off without someone who can't grow and improve. She's quiet for a long time, just looking at me with strange expression. Asks me to tell her exactly what happened, leading up to breakup details. Start telling her about how I corrected him constantly for his own good. Mention how I told him his teaching job wasn't prestigious enough, should do more. Say how I criticized his wardrobe choices, his hobbies, his friends, everything really. Tell her how I made him ask permission before making plans with friends. Explain how I tracked his location so I always knew where he was safety. Mention how I went through his phone regularly to make sure nothing inappropriate. Say how I told him he needed to lose weight and get in better shape. Explain how I criticized his family for not being progressive enough, backwards thinking. Tell her all this, expecting sympathy and agreement that he was wrong. Instead, she puts down her coffee and says, "I need to tell you something." Feel nervous because her tone is serious and disappointed, sounding different. She says, "I'm going to be honest, even though it will hurt your feelings." Tells me that Jason was too good for me, and I treated him terribly. Feels shocked and asks her how she can say that to her own daughter. She says because it's true and someone needs to tell you before it's too late. Tells me she watched me treat Jason like he was beneath me for 2 years. Says I criticized everything about him, constantly made him feel small, inadequate. Mentions she saw how exhausted he looked toward end when visiting us, concerned. Tells me his spark was gone and he looked miserable whenever around me, drained. Says she kept hoping I would change my behavior, but I only got worse. Points out that I controlled every aspect of his life like he was child. Mentions I didn't let him make decisions without my approval about anything. Tells me she felt sorry for him and wondered why he stayed so long, endured. Ask her why she never said anything before, now it felt this way always. She says because I hoped you'd figure it out yourself, but you didn't learn. Tells me she tried to hint that I should be kinder to him, gentle suggestions. Says I dismissed every suggestion and said I was helping him grow, improve better. Mentions that Dad agreed with her but didn't want to interfere in relationship. Tells me they both liked Jason a lot more than they liked how I treated him. Says he was kind, patient, and genuinely good person who deserved better than. Asks me if I even realize how controlling and critical I was to him constantly. Sit there stunned that my own mother is taking ex-boyfriend's side over mine. Feel betrayed and tell her she's supposed to support me, no matter what. She says supporting you doesn't mean lying to you about your behavior, enabling. Tells me real support is telling truth, even when it's uncomfortable to hear. Says I've watched you drive away every good man who's tried to date you pattern. Mentions that your ex before Jason said same things about you being exhausting. Points out that you have pattern of treating partners like improvement projects, fixing. Tells me you're going to end up alone if you don't change your behavior soon. Asks if I've ever considered that maybe I'm the problem, not them always. Tells me Jason put up with more than most men would have for 2 years. Says he genuinely loved me, but I made it impossible for him to stay eventually. Mentions she wouldn't be surprised if he finds someone else quickly, because catch. Feel tears forming and tell her that's a cruel thing to say to daughter. She says what's cruel is watching my daughter destroy relationships and not saying. Tells me I raised you to be strong, but somewhere you confuse strength with cruelty. Says being strong doesn't mean making everyone around you feel weak and inadequate. Mentions that you can be feminist and still treat partner with kindness, respect. Tells me you treated Jason like he was your employee, not your equal partner. Says you made him ask permission for things like he was child, not adult. Points out that going through his phone was invasion of privacy and showed distrust. Asks me how I would feel if someone treated me the way I treated him. Sit there unable to answer because I'd hate to be treated that way, obviously. Tell her defensively that I was just trying to help him be a better person. She says you were trying to control him and mold him into what you wanted. Tells me he didn't need to be better. He was already a good person as was. Says you couldn't accept him for who he was, always trying to change him. Mentions that constantly criticizing someone doesn't make them better, just miserable. Tells me you destroyed his self-esteem over 2 years, made him doubt himself. Says his confidence was gone by the end because nothing was good enough. Points out that telling him his job wasn't prestigious enough was particularly cruel. Asks me what's wrong with being elementary school teacher, helping kids learn important. Tells me he was making difference in children's lives, and you diminish that. Say that I just wanted him to have ambition and do more with life. She says he had ambition. He was a passionate teacher who loved his job. Fulfilling. Tells me not everyone defines success the way you do, and that's okay different. Says you wanted him to be someone he wasn't instead of loving who he was. Mentions that you tried to change everything about him, clothes, hobbies, friends, job. Tells me that's not love, that's a renovation project, not healthy relationship. Asks me if I even liked Jason or just saw him as project to fix. Sit there realizing I don't know if I actually liked him or just potential. Understand I was more focused on what he could become than who he was. Realize mom is right and I treated him terribly for 2 years constantly. Ask her if she thinks he'll ever forgive me or give me another chance. She's quiet, then says honestly, I hope he doesn't for his sake better off. Feel hurt and ask how she can say that about her own daughter, cruel. She says, because I love you and want you to learn from this lesson important. Tells me if he took you back, you wouldn't change behavior, just continue pattern. Says you need to be alone and work on yourself before dating anyone else. Mentions that you need therapy to understand why you feel need to control. Tells me, until you change, you'll keep hurting good people who try to love. Says Jason deserves someone who appreciates him for who he is, not who could be. Tells me honestly, he deserves someone better than what you were to him. Feel completely destroyed that my own mother is saying this to me. Brutal. Tell her I can't believe she's taking his side over her own daughter family. She says, I'm not taking sides. I'm telling you truth you need to hear. Tells me every friend and family member who loves you has been thinking this. Says they've all watched you treat partners badly and didn't know how to tell. Mentions that dad said just last week he felt bad for Jason endured so much. Tells me your brother said Jason was saint for putting up with you so long. Points out that even your best friend mentioned you were too hard on him. Asks me if I'm noticing pattern that everyone saw problem except me, blind. Realize my entire family and friends thought I was treating Jason badly. Everyone. Spend next few days barely speaking to my mom, feel betrayed by her honesty. But keep thinking about everything she said, replaying conversation in mind constantly. Start remembering specific things I did to Jason throughout relationship examples, clear. Recall time I made him cancel plans with his friends to run my errands instead. Remember when I told him his outfit was embarrassing in front of his coworkers publicly. Think about how I criticized his lesson plans even though I know nothing teaching. Recall how I told his mom her cooking was unhealthy at family dinner, rude. Remember making him return gifts from his friends because I didn't approve of them. Think about tracking his location and calling him if he didn't text back immediately. Realize I was controlling and awful to him for 2 years and he endured it. Decide to reach out to Jason to apologize for everything I did to him. Text him, asking if we can talk, and he responds after a few hours hesitantly. Says he doesn't think talking is a good idea and he's moved on already done. Tell him I just want to apologize for how I treated him. That's all need. He agrees to meet for coffee in public place the following day. Neutral ground, show up, and he looks different. Somehow lighter and less stressed than before, happier. Notice he seems more confident and relaxed than when we were together previously. Sit down and tell him I'm sorry for how I treated him throughout relationship. Start listing things I did wrong and he stops. Me says he knows already aware, tells me he's been in therapy processing the relationship, and his therapist helped. Ask him what therapist said about our relationship. curious about professional opinion. He says therapist told him he was in an emotionally abusive relationship with me. Feels shocked and defensive. Ask how he can call it abuse that's extreme. He says controlling behavior, constant criticism. Tracking location going through phone, all abusive. Tells me making him ask permission for everything, treating him like child abusive behavior. Says destroying his self-confidence over 2 years was psychological abuse, clear pattern. Mentions therapist helped him see that what I did wasn't love, was control. Tells me he's learned to recognize red flags now and won't accept that again. Says he stayed because he kept hoping I would change back to beginning version. Tells me, but you only got worse, more controlling and critical as time went. Tell him I didn't mean to be abusive. I was just trying to help improve. He says that's what every abusive person says. They meant well, good intentions. Tells me impact matters more than intent, and impact was devastating to him. Says he lost himself in that relationship, trying to be what I wanted constantly. Mentions his friends barely recognized him by end because so beaten down, exhausted. Tells me his family is relieved. We broke up because they saw what it did. Says his mom told him she was worried about him staying with me too long. Points out that even my own mother agreed he deserved better than me telling. Asks if I've even listened to what people are telling me about my behavior. Realize everyone in both our lives saw I was problem, except me blind to it. Ask him if there's any chance we could try again. I'll change, promise. He looks at me sadly and says, no, absolutely not, never getting back together. Tells me he's actually seeing someone now, and she's everything you weren't to him. Says she builds him up instead of tearing him down, constantly supportive always. Mentions she accepts him as he is instead of trying to change everything. Tells me she trusts him instead of tracking him and going through his phone. Says his confidence has returned and he feels like himself again, finally free. Mentions his friends and family love her because she's kind to everyone around. Tells me honestly, I should have left you year into relationship sooner. Regrets staying, says he only stayed because he kept believing you'd change back but never did. Feel tears falling and tell him I really am sorry for everything did. He says, I believe you're sorry, but that doesn't change what you did to me. Tells me apology doesn't undo 2 years of emotional abuse endured from you. Says he's moved on and building healthy relationship with someone who respects him. Mentions he hopes I get help and work on myself before dating again seriously. Tells me next person you date deserves better than what you gave me. Says goodbye and good luck, then gets up to leave conversation overdone. Watch him walk away and realize I've lost him forever because of my behavior. Understand that everyone was right. My mom, his family, friends, everyone saw it. Realize I was an abusive partner and destroyed good relationship I had with him. Go home and tell mom about meeting with Jason and what he said. She asks how I'm feeling and I tell her everyone thinks I'm an abusive person. She says not abusive person, but you engaged in abusive behaviors. Important distinction. Tells me recognizing it is first step toward changing for future relationships. Key. Says she's proud of me for apologizing even though it changed nothing already done. Mentions she knows it hurts, but this is wake-up call. I need it desperately clear. Asks if I'm willing to get therapy and work on controlling behaviors, change myself. Tell her yes, I need to because I can't keep hurting people this way pattern. She hugs me and says she loves me, but couldn't watch me hurt Jason anymore. Understand she was protecting both of us by telling me truth, harsh but needed. 2 months later, see on social media, Jason is in relationship with someone new. She's elementary school teacher at different school. They met through work connection. Caption about finding partner who loves him for exactly who he is. Accepting always. His friends commenting about how happy he looks now and how great she is. His family welcoming her and saying she's perfect for him fits right in. Notice in photos, he's smiling genuinely again. Spark is back in his eyes. She looks at him with admiration and respect. I never showed him lacking always. Realize she's giving him everything I couldn't accept and support and kindness love. Meanwhile, I'm in therapy working on my controlling behaviors and trust issues deep. Understand I have long way to go before I'm ready for healthy relationship. Therapist asks why I felt need to control Jason so completely throughout relationship. Sit there thinking and realize I was terrified of losing him to someone better. Understand controlling him was way to keep him from realizing he could do better. Therapist says low self-esteem often manifests as controlling behavior over partners. True. Tells me I tried to make him smaller so he wouldn't leave me for bigger, better. Realize I destroyed the relationship I was trying so hard to protect. Irony clear. Understand my insecurities ruined something good because of my own fears projected. Learn that my mom was right about everything, even though it hurt to hear. Realize Jason does deserve better, and he found it with someone healthier than me. Understand I need to fix myself before I can be a good partner to anyone else. 6 months later, see engagement announcement. Jason proposed to his girlfriend already. They've only been dating 8 months, but clearly right for each other, compatible. Caption about finding person who makes everything easy and natural, effortless love. His family commenting about how excited they are for the wedding celebration coming. His mom saying she's never seen him happier and grateful for new daughter gaining. Realize this could have been me if I had just treated him with basic respect. Understand she succeeded where I failed by simply accepting and supporting him. She didn't try to change or control or criticize, just loved him as was. Meanwhile, I'm still in therapy, still single, still working on my issues ongoing. Realize my own mother was right to side with him because he did deserve better. Still in therapy, year later, and understanding more about my patterns of behavior. Realize I've done this in every relationship, always trying to control and change. Understand my mom siding with Jason was a loving thing to do, even though hurt initially. She forced me to see truth I was refusing to acknowledge about myself clearly. Realize if she had taken my side, I would have continued same patterns forever. Understand losing Jason and having my own mother tell me truth was wake-up call. Learn that sometimes people who love you have to hurt you to help you grow. Realize Jason is married now and happy while I'm alone, working on myself still. Understand that's how it should be until I'm healthy enough for relationship ready. Learned that my mother was right. He deserved better than what I gave him.